We are speaking the days following the events in Paris. Notre Dame, the Paris cathedral, is burning, has burned. And it's not just a physical building that is burning, it is Western civilization that is burning. It's civilization in a way that has departed, detached itself from nature, from the universe, from the way we are, from the way we have been born. It is a direction of this civilization that is not sustainable. It leads to conflict, and conflict leads to crisis, and crisis can lead to catastrophe. It's not just that we have to look at only the negative side, because there is a positive side to this also. But we have to know that there is no progress in the world until and unless there is an occasion of catalysis, of catharsis, of change, of movement, a challenge. And this challenge is now with us, because the world has reached a point of no return. We cannot simply continue in the way we have been. A cathedral burning, yes. Twin Towers in New York burning, that's also a kind of a cathedral, because today the world is built on power of money and the power of influence, but also the power of information. And it is a world that has departed from the natural norms which underlie our existence. It is generally believed that in nature there is the rule of tooth and claw, that the strongest wins. It turned out to be not to be the case. It turned out that cooperation is stronger than competition. It's not the strongest that wins, it's the most cooperative, the one who is more joining together with others. We would not be here today as a human species, as a living species, unless there is in nature a tendency, a direction, call it a divine will, call it just a systemic attractor, but something in nature that is creating cooperation, that is building wholes out of parts, that is building complexity, that is creating coherence in the world. But this natural impulse toward empathy, toward cooperation, which is there in nature, overlying and undergirding the surface conflicts. But it is there because nature, the biosphere, could not exist without it. Probably not even stars, stellar systems, galaxies could exist unless there was this movement toward oneness, toward wholeness, toward creativity, toward the creation of wholes out of parts. When all this has started, 13.8 billion years ago, we believe, in the wake of the so-called Big Bang, when all this has started, there was full chaos. There was nothing. There was no structure. There was only a cosmic chaos, out of which condensed the elements of order that make up our world. That is cosmology. What does it have to do with our world? Because we are part of the process. It's called evolution. It's the development of order out of chaos. And we have forgotten this. In the past 200 years, or 250 years perhaps, we are acting as though we could order the world the way the world is, and the way the world should be. That we create that coherence according to our beliefs. And what do we believe? We believe that the strongest wins. We believe that the more powerful wins, that you have to be strong, rich, and powerful in order to survive. That is not the way the world operates. That is not the way the universe works. We cannot create a world that is sustainable on the principle that the more you grab, the more you design for yourself, for your own benefit, and the more you exclude others, the better it is. It is not the better. That is the way to collapse. Coming back to a moment, to the burning of our civilization, as shown, as indicated by the signs of that fabulous cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris burning. That is a sign, that is a powerful symbol of the need to change, of the need to find our way again, where the spirit of that cathedral, which is a spirit of coherence, spirit of reverence, spirit of oneness, spirit of harmony, that spirit must be recovered again. It is there in us, in each of us. It is there as we are born in tiny babies in our mother's arms. It is there as we meet others in kindergarten and in school, but then we are being taught out of it. We are being educated out of it. We use the power of information, the power of technology to create benefit on the principle that it is us and only us. We put ourselves first. And by saying first us, it means only us. So the time has come to reach beyond and below the surface, beyond the events that are happening today, so that we find again that basic principle on which all existence in this universe is based, the spirit of wholeness, the spirit of cooperation. It sounds esoteric, sounds woo-woo, but it is a cosmological spirit. Life could not be here. The earth would not be here in its biosphere unless this was the dominant factor in life, in existence. We are children of a civilization that has departed from the norm, from the understanding of who we truly are. Cohering, interdependent, mutually empathetic beings. That's what we need to be. It is there in us. It is there in the depths of our civilization, the depths of our heart, of our spirit. But we have overlaid it with this rush through technology for individual advancement, through individual privileges at the expense of the whole. We need to come back to the whole, to the spirit that created the universe. Divine spirit, perhaps, but certainly it is something in the universe which is there, which is in us as well. And that is what I call the source. The source is the basic principle, is the basic impetus for all things to exist. That is the norm. We have to recover the norm. We have to reconnect again with that source. We are all capable of it. We experience that when we are entering a somewhat altered state of consciousness, when we are entering deeper into ourselves, when we have mindfulness, when we have meditation, when we have aesthetic enjoyment, when we have the sense of a great work of art, when we have this sense for which Notre Dame was seriously hurt, the enjoyment which was there, which has been compromised by the conflict in the world. We have to return to the spirit of Notre Dame, not the flames, but the spirit out of which it was born. It is in us. It is in our civilization, but it is overlaid by the rush for power, for dominance of the few over the many. A totally intolerable and unsustainable direction. It is now time to change. If we don't want more acts of terror, more flames out of twin towers, out of great cathedrals, but if we want a world in which everybody can live, when we can be together, when we can feel empathy, yes, and where we can feel, I should say, and I want to say, love, unconditional, universal love for all things. Can we do this? Yes, we can. Every child has that instinct. We just have to take care that it's nurtured. That is, we don't follow this belief that by advantaging ourselves, we can do something good. We cannot. We can only do if we put ourselves in the framework of all, if we do it together, if we are one with each other. It is time to rethink. We need not have more flames out of cathedrals. What we need to have is to build cathedrals of feeling, cathedrals of organization, cathedrals of love, so that we can live on this world the way we were meant to live, as an advanced evolutionary species with a high level of consciousness, capable not only of acting, but knowing how we act, knowing that we can be masters of our own destiny. The time has come. Good that there are signs like this, but let's not make change at the expense of sacrifice, at the expense of violence. Let us make change peacefully. We can do it. We are here because these are reminders of who we truly are, beings of oneness in a world that is basically and fundamentally